Much like my own birth mother, I got pregnant at 18 unexpectedly. I did decide to keep my baby. She was the only biological tie that I had in this world, and I wasn't about to let her go. I wish that my birth father and his family could have shared her with me and been there to watch me along this journey. You know, there's so many family events that we miss. When I look at this picture of Morgan at maybe 8, there with Nanny and Pop and my brother and my brother's daughter, who's also my niece. I feel like I should be there because since then we've had so many wonderful times together, and it breaks me up that I just wasn't there when these memories happened. Likewise, it breaks me up that they weren't there when the memories of my daughter's birthdays happened. This is Victoria turning 4, and my birth father, he cried and mourned over this loss as well. He was very sad that he didn't get to be a part of these special birthday celebrations. Eventually, though, he did, finally. I think this was when she turned 20, just a few months after he and I met for the very first time. And God didn't make him happy. It was wonderful for her too, because she hadn't had a grandfather for the majority of her life since my father, her Baba, had died when she was only 5 years old. This is a picture of my birth father holding his great-grandson. This is what I mean when I tell you what adoption took from all of us. He didn't get to hold me when I was born. He didn't get to hold my daughter when she was born. But by God, he did get to hold his great-grandson when he was born. And that's also something that my adoptive parents did not get to experience because they had already passed. I also got to finally meet Morgan. I met Morgan when he was 16. And I will say he is my absolute favorite nephew, although I'll admit, according to my pop and everyone else, he's the only one I have. But it just shows you, I think what it would have been like for me to be in that little boy's life, his whole life. Luckily, I think we still have such a bond that it is almost like we never weren't in each other's lives. This is us today, all of us, on the other side of this. My brother, his wife, my nephew Morgan, my pop, our nanny, my grandson, my daughter, her husband. The only people missing from this photo, it's my niece Kaylee and my newest grandson, Emmett, who's now 3 years old. I guess where I was trying to go with this post is just to show how much loss happens when adoption happens. It's not just loss for the adoptee, it's loss for the birth parents, it's loss for all of the people related to both of us on each sides. But it's also a duality that adoptees and reunited birth parents have to live with, and that is that we each had these long lives that came before, and there's no way to get past that or to assimilate it. You really just have to grieve for it. Pop passed on November 3rd, 2021. I and my brother were with him. And even though we can't make up for those 40 years we lost, we have made the most of our precious 11 years together, and it was a fantastic ride.